they here? Are they here?
Down the hall.
I've been waiting so long for this moment. I literally have been waiting my entire career to finally shoot on a set of Master Primes. I feel like Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. I feel like Marcellus Wallace. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I earned my way to get here is how I feel. I didn't just want to jump ahead. I wanted to work my way up to these bad boys. Deacons is my jam. So here we are, Master Primes. Let's take a look. I can't wait. It's even more glorious than I ever imagined. Hey everybody, today on Inside Craft Show, we're going to tell you how to get Master Primes for free, kind of, and some other production tips.
Yeah, so we have to back focus our camera, which you have glass in the front, glass in the back. And the last camera we did, or last shoot we did with this, we had a zoom lens on it, so we had to back focus the sensor in the camera for when you zoom in and zoom out. If it's back focused right, you don't, like if it says it's 30 feet, it'll still be 30 feet when you zoom in.
The 180-degree rule. It is always tricky. A lot of people get confused by it, but this is a really simple tip that will help you in like dialogue scenes or interview scenes. And basically, once you learn this, you can expand it onward. So we're not going to go over the whole like crazy amount of 180-degree concepts that you have to deal with. But this one is a really quick, easy tip that gets it locked into your head. So here's how it works. Are you ready, Mr. Worley?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, hello, Jeff. I'm right to left.
Hello, Drew. I'm left to right.
That's it. That's all you got to do. So we're going to do it again. This time, just because we're doing a color chart test too, this time we'll do it with the 75 mil and the 40 mil, which is the Deacon's lens.
Hello, Drew. I am left to right.
Hello, Jeff. I'm right to left.
Right.
Hello, Jeff. I'm right to left.
Hello, Drew. I'm left to right.
Hello, Jeff. I'm right to left.
Hello, Drew. I'm left to right.
You are the most important part of the equation. It doesn't matter how much tech is in a box or how much gear you've got. It's really all about you. You're the creative involved in this process. So let's talk about it for 1 second. I love the GH5. I think it is a fantastic camera. I think it is a brilliant camera. But here's the thing. The GH5 is not going to make the ultimate image. You are, and only you can make that ultimate image. So forget all the tech. Don't get hung up on the tech, though forgive me for being in love with these lenses. Don't get hung up on the tech. Instead, focus on you being the motivating factor behind it. It was funny, we had another viewer turn around and say, I wish there was a story button on the GH5, making a joke. Yeah, me too. It'd be great sometimes, but you are that story. So get creative. Focus on your story. Focus on what's in your mind. You are the most important part of that camera. You're the most expensive piece. You're the most brilliant piece. You're the shiniest piece. Just trust me when I say that you and you alone are the core behind it. It doesn't matter what sensor size or what piece of glass. It's all about you. I should have rhymed that, you candy ass. Being accountable. And what does that mean? Well, we know what being accountable means. You're accountable for your actions. Yeah, that's enough said. But what I'm referring to is being accountable in the sense of being smart about how you put together your finances in terms of getting clients and making these relationships. One way we like to do it, and we found it to be very successful for us thus far, is we use Wave. Wave is totally free. It's completely free. And it's an awesome online tool for basically doing your accounting. But what we also do is we use it for estimate generation, invoice generation. Eventually, we're going to outgrow it and have to go we'd have to go to QuickBooks. But in the meantime, what Wave's done for us is we've gone through and we've set our rates. So as we talked about, you are the tool, right? You are the actual real piece of creative behind it, not a piece of gear. So we took what we believe our rates are. We call them our creative rates. We take the creative rate plus our gear, plus some lighting or whatever else we want to bring with it, and we set a flat rate. So let's say you plus a GH5 and some lighting is $65 an hour. Cool, that's 65 bucks an hour. There you go. You know where you stand. That means your full day, a 10-hour day, is 650 bucks. That's a pretty good rate. And that always depends upon your market. If you're in Los Angeles, New York, major market, it may be different. Hell, you may be able to pull it off in your own small town. But I'm just using that as a reference point, right? So you're $65 an hour. Always do a half-day minimum just to cover your bases, because you never know. Sometimes clients just need like 2 shots or whatever it might be. The other thing you can add in there is then you can tack on lens rentals or gear rentals or additional items you want to rent. So you can just tack that on into it so they have a very clean, simple system. It keeps you accountable, keeps them accountable because you know where the money stands. Also, one last quick tip, lesson learned multiple times over, half up front, always. Just do it. Trust me. Thanks, me. You're probably wondering about how to get these free RE Master Primes. You've watched the video all the way through, you've been waiting. So let me start with how that process works. The first thing you need to consider is a little acronym I call ABMB, which kind of sounds like some kind of weird intestinal thing, but it's not. It stands for always be mutually beneficial. And that's in your relationships with your clients, your crew, your vendors, anybody you come across. Always have that relationship. Make sure it's mutually beneficial. If they're giving you something of value, make sure you give them something of value, whether it's cash or other commodity. So here's how to get the lenses. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a relationship strong enough with the client that they're going to allow you to mark up the rental price. And that's all we're talking about. And you're like, well, I can't get them right away. Well, hang on, step back a second. Let's look at client relationships. So the first thing you can do is just go pick some up. So maybe you don't have a big enough client that's going to afford a set of Master Prime. What you need to do is go find someone. So everybody needs a piece of social video, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. So then go to them, and instead of charging, if you can get your own rate, great. But if you can't, just charge them the rental fee you're trying to acquire. Go to places like Lens Rental or Borrow Lenses, and you can get your hands on these pieces of glass that you can test, play with, see if you need to own them before you buy them, which is all crucial in the game. So you can literally go through the process to get yourself in that space, to get these lenses, to toy with them, to play with them, to have fun with them, and use them. And guess what happens? You benefit because now your demo reel has awesome looking shots. You got to play with something you wanted, and more importantly, or equally importantly, your client also got a video from it. So what you do is you slowly build those up, and then your reel gets better. And once your reel gets to a point at which you can throw it to bigger producers, you're gonna have really solid looking content that's dynamic and rich that when you do pitch to a producer, they'll be grateful for it. One more thing about the rental, don't mark it up. And here's why, because a savvy producer is gonna pick that up right away. So if you're working with a producer that can turn around and be like, wait a second, this guy's marking up these lenses like, 20% or 30% or 40%. You might get away with a little wiggle room, but if you put too much, they're gonna know. Same thing to your clients, just make it mutually beneficial. Have them pay for them, then you can roll it through. And if you can squeeze a little bit of your time into that budget, great. But that's how you do it. That's how we worked up to these Master Primes, is I slowly built my client base up enough and groomed them enough and treated them so mutually beneficial. So I gained, they gained, that when we came to them and said, hey, we wanna shoot this spot on Master Primes, it wasn't even a question. I didn't have to pitch it. They said, yes, we can't wait. It'll be awesome. That's it. That's how easy it is. You can do it. I believe in you. Here's me. All right, there you go. There's our quick tips for kind of helping you explode your career, your business, your ideas. We're here to help. We want to support. I'm sharing as much info as I possibly can because, again, we've been inspired, so thank you. And in turn, hopefully you've been inspired. Sorry about the lighting. Here's the thing. Big challenge for this year has been that we have to move out of this studio we've been in for 5 years. And so now we're kind of left with new means of figuring out how to do the back focus like Jeff was talking about. So we're kind of shooting into a closet, QR Kelly. So we have one single 4-foot Kino bulb that is tungsten and no C-stands to hang it on because things change very quickly on us, and most of our gear is going out on this big job that we have coming up. We're probably shooting that right now. I apologize for kind of this weird shadow. Ooh, look at the shadow. I mean, that's just garbage, but it's what I had to do in the moment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Tell us what you want to see. I know we're working on some other pieces, projects, chunks. I know that profiles is a big one. Color, which picture profile. We kind of touched on it, but if you want some more info on it, we'll do those side by side. Now we're off to go play with Optimus and his Master Primes. That was a terrible joke, wasn't it?
No, it's terrible.
Okay.